Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, beautiful people. Y'all know who it is. It's Zipmouth Motivation. And today we have Todd. And I want to say this name right. I'm going to say it Corsa. And if it's wrong, he's going to tell me the right way because I should have asked him. I didn't ask. He is the owner of Cleaning Authority in Fishers. He has an MBA, CPA, revenue growth expert, TEDx man. This is a real movie star. TEDx speaker and someone who has grown his company from 1.8 million to over $4 million. So I'm gonna bring Todd up, and y'all make sure that y'all follow, y'all listen in, because this is big business, and y'all know I'm about mindset change and situation change. So when someone has brought their company from $1.8 million to over $4 million, that's big. TEDx speaker, that's big. MBA, CPA, revenue growth expert, big, 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 big across the board. So pay attention, listen in. I'll also be sharing his social media information and information on how to get in contact with him if you have more questions, because I know, like, especially with this revenue growth expert, amazing, amazing, amazing. So y'all give us 30 seconds and we'll be right back. Thank you. Hey Todd, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for
Great.
having me, Domasha.
Could you tell me your last name? Could you say it for me? Because I might have crushed that.
We pronounce it Krause.
Rousey.
It's
Okay.
not completely anglicized. It's a little bit in between the original and the Kraus, which many people say.
Okay, Krause and Krause. Okay, Krause. All right, Todd. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and then we'll get into the interview.
Well, I've been a long time business person in investments,
Hmm.
specifically alternative investments, where I worked with hedge funds and private equity, venture capital. So I was involved with a lot of business creation, when we didn't need them anymore, liquidating them and selling off the assets.
Right.
Along the way, I grew a fund administration company from a startup to a $2 billion operation, and then got recruited by ABN AMRO LaSalle Bank to help them start a fund administration business unit.
Right.
Grew that to $14 billion before the bank was chopped up and sold off in pieces.
Mm.
Then we fast forward. I was working in the Indianapolis area for Alter Domus, a global fund administration company.
Right.
And that position ended right as we were going into the pandemic. On
Mm.
Friday, March 6th at 11:30, it's like, I thought, we're done. I got my walking papers. And so that left me looking around, what do I do now? 10 days later, I'm looking online on a business broker website and I spot the Cleaning Authority in Fishers. It's for sale.
Mm.
Started talking to the owner, decided to buy it. At first, my wife's reaction was, "What? A cleaning company?
Right.
Investments all these years?" And I went,
Right.
"Look, hon, look at these numbers. There's some real potential here."
Right.
So I went ahead and bought it. It was running at about 1.6 million when I took over late 2020, finished the year at 1.8 million.
Right.
And within 2.5 years, it doubled the size of it
Right.
and continued to grow. We're north of 4 million in annual revenue now.
Hmm.
But one of the first things that happened is I got nominated for and accepted for the Franchisee of the Year at the International Franchise Association.
Oh, that's nice.
Corporate had put my information in, because of the culture we were creating there. I
Right.
put up a flag for every country represented by one of my workers. And we had people coming from 14 different countries.
Right.
I'd always joke and I would always say, our entranceway looks like the United Nations.
Right.
Well, a couple of people from corporate came out and they're snapping photographs everywhere and they're loving what they saw. And they submitted my information. And the International Franchise Association loved it, flew me out to San Diego to accept the award.
Mhm.
And then in 23, I won the award from the franchisor, the Authority Brands, again, just a couple of years later. So I've won it twice now.
Right.
Everybody is just also excited about what we've done inside the office was just simply recognizing the culture and changing how we manage people.
Absolutely.
Because I have to be
Absolutely.
honest, when I took over, it was not the most positive environment to be in. Turnover
Yeah,
was high, morale was low, and it was like, this doesn't work. We are not doing this anymore. And I completely
absolutely.
changed it. And things just took off.
What was the first major shift you made that started that revenue climb? What was the first major shift that you made?
I needed to get the managers to stop telling the cleaners, no, 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 don't do this, don't do that, don't.
Mhm.
Everywhere you looked, it was a sign, a poster, a warning. If you do this, consequences, something bad. And I said, stop, just stop. We're not going to do that anymore. Tell them what we want, and then tell them what the rewards are if they do it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I said, you can take everything, you can completely flip it over 180 degrees. Instead of saying, don't leave a mess in the cars for the next team to clean up, you could say, please keep the cars clean so they're ready for the next team. Keep the equipment clean so it's ready for tomorrow.
Right.
Take care of it so it lasts longer.
Right. I don't think that people understand that when you speak negative, it makes the brain think one way. But when you give them like it's almost like a choice, but you're saying, "Hey, can you please keep the carts clean, for the next." That gives them a choice, one, but then it's something like, "Oh, okay, we're supposed to keep the carts clean." But they're not saying, "Don't leave this here, don't do that there," because that kind of makes people feel cringe a little bit mentally.
You're right. It has this impact of shutting down the thinking.
Right.
When you say, please do this, and then we started adding bonuses and rewards to it too yet.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, everybody got real interested. And within less than 2 months, we had completely flipped the culture around from one that was rather negative to one that was positive.
Right.
The cleaners were coming in with a smile on their face and they were laughing and joking in the mornings as they came in. But
That's
it all
switching
started
around.
with getting the managers to look at and think about the world differently. As a instead of a world of don'ts, a world of please do this, possibilities.
Absolutely. With a reward too. Like you're gonna get a reward for doing this, whether it's your paycheck, but also it's kind of like, hey, Tim kept his cart clean all week. Here's a reward of some sort. Maybe it's not a lot, but I think people work well with rewards. Was there a moment you thought this might not work?
Oh, there were definitely several moments.
Right.
Turnover was high going into the middle of 2021. For several months there, it seemed like we would find 3 people to hire and 4 would quit.
Mm,
And then we would find 4 to hire and 5 would quit.
right.
Managers themselves were filling in for cleaners, cleaning, scrubbing toilets, cleaning houses. I knew that we had to change things because I wasn't paying them to scrub toilets. I was paying them to help run the business and make sure the business ran well.
Absolutely.
But you got to love them and give them a ton of credit for rolling up their sleeves and jumping in and doing the dirty work themselves.
Absolutely.
Anything to keep the lights on. The one thing we can say that came out of that is we never canceled on a customer. We
Mm.
always found a way to get the work done that we promised to do for them.
Right. Now that's beautiful. That is beautiful because I think with the cleaning company, especially like this is a at the time when you first got it, it was a $1.8 million company. So with the cleaning company that big, you have to make sure you're not canceling. So there has to be some discipline in the midst of all of that. And a lot of people, like, they focus on revenue, but not only, the profitable. What's the difference, you think, and why does it matter? Does the profitable because, people are focusing on the revenue, but what is the difference of not focusing on the revenue that's coming in?
Well, here's a very simple way to think about that. I could have a business where I'm earning $1 million in revenue
Right?
and I'm putting in a lot of hours every day running the business. I have a big team of people working there, but there's so many expenses, the rent, the payroll, the equipment, the supplies, that when you get done working at the end of the week, there's nothing left to put in the bank. Its
Mm.
revenue is this top line. And then you start subtracting these things called expenses, and you get down to this bottom number that we call profit.
Right.
So it's possible to have a large company, be working hard, you're doing a lot of things, but you're not putting any money in the bank. And that's the number that matters.
Absolutely.
In fact, we're a perfect example of that. We are smaller than the cleaning authority next door to us, but we're more profitable. And I know
Right.
that because we can see each numbers internally in the system. And that means that my neighbor is working a whole lot harder for a whole lot less money in the bank than
Right.
we are.
Absolutely. You know what? I was just with a company today and I was talking to them about, just revenue, they're opening a store. And so I was talking to them about the revenue and how long it takes to put something in the bank sometime. Because remember, you still got like this overhead, you got rent, you got more product, and you got all these different things. And sometimes it takes a minute to bring in that revenue that you see in the bank. And maybe it's not a lot the first time, but you got to keep at it. You know what I'm saying? That discipline is to keep it going. So I get that. Um, what's the biggest mistake small business owners make financially, do you think?
They make a lot of mistakes. We all do. We don't we're not blessed with having somebody looking over our shoulder, whispering in our ear, tell us, don't do that, do this. Business owners tend to, as a group, they chase after everything and anything that looks like they
Mm,
can earn a dollar. So if you're a cleaning company, business owners will say, oh, we can clean commercial buildings, we can clean restaurants, we can clean apartment buildings, we can clean houses. No, you can't. No, you're not good at all of those things.
right, right.
It takes a different animal to clean an industrial building than it does to clean a house.
Absolutely.
What are you good at? What is your sweet spot?
Mm, that is a good question. I don't think business owners, I don't think they really understand. Like you have to find that one thing that is your thing, like that's your sweet spot. That's your favorite space to be because you're going to do that well. Now the other things could come possibly after you master this and like I can do this. Oh wait, maybe I can clean, I don't know, like a business office that's a one level. You know what I'm saying? Then start with that, then the two levels. So I I totally agree with sometimes business owners are all over the place and it's like, what's your thing? What is your thing?
What is it? It's exactly it. What is your thing that you are good at?
Right.
And then
Right.
when you narrow in on that one thing, you have to take it to the next level.
Mhm.
So if you say, in our case, we're predominantly houses. Yes, we can clean anything from the largest house you've ever seen down to a small little condo
Right.
or an apartment. But that doesn't mean that those are the best clients for us. Because
Absolutely.
within that bracket or in that category, there's still going to be a group of customers that we're the best at servicing.
Absolutely.
In our case, we're better at servicing the customers who have, say, a 1,500 square foot house up to 3 or 4,000 square feet.
Mhm.
We can just do those one after another all day long and do
Right.
them really well.
Absolutely. And see, that's what I'm saying. You know, this is what you can do well. You're not saying, well, we're best at, I don't know, we got to do like 5 mansions at one time. That's extreme, but like this is what we're best at, and you're not best at that thing. Like, okay, this I can do this square footage right here. We can do this. I can send someone there. We can do another one in another 3, 4 hours and another one after that, just to make sure you're staying in your lane. And I think that's important for businesses, especially like cleaning services, to just stay in your lane until you excel somewhere different. And that's a good thing. As a CPA and MBA, what numbers should every entrepreneur actually know weekly?
You're going to want to keep track of your customers. And on the
Mhm.
customer side, you want to track new customers that you're adding and customers that you're losing.
Right.
Without customers, you don't have a business.
Mm.
Then you want to track your pricing and make sure that your pricing for the jobs that you do is a good competitive price in the market.
Okay.
Oftentimes, business owners that I talk to are grossly underpriced. They're just trying to get volume, but then they can't make profit. So
Ooh.
pricing and then actually delivering the services. So we're kind of working it through from the top to the bottom.
Right.
You have to actually deliver services when you have customers. They have to be on your schedule. So you want to watch and see, are they on the schedule on a regular basis?
Right. Right.
So then now that you deliver services, you price it, that gives you revenue. Now you want to watch your expenses. You
Mhm.
control the expenses because they can get out of control very easily. And you can, without watching it, suddenly be paying way more than you should be for supplies or for equipment.
Right.
When you are service based business, time is money.
I
What you
just
want to do is deliver your services efficiently
right.
using the fewest resources possible, meaning time, supplies, materials.
Mhm.
Deliver it effectively. Do everything that you promised because we want to retain those customers. We want them to come back week after week for next house cleaning and the one after that and the one after that into the future.
Absolutely.
If we've done
Absolutely.
all that right, then we should, at the bottom, we should see a decent profit margin,
Right. Right.
meaning we are actually paying ourselves and we are putting some money in the bank to live on.
And that's the part where okay, so you have this company, start is $1.8 million, right? And you bring it up to the $4 million. Now this is a cleaning business, right? So people might think like, hey, I don't really think you can make that much money in cleaning, you know? So were there some add-ons, some things that Like you add, like, say you go and clean someone's house, did you offer them like supplies or something of that nature? Was there some add-ons there, or is this strictly cleaning?
It's pretty much focused on cleaning, but when
Mhm.
we do add-ons, we do things like oven cleaning, or we do extra deep cleaning in areas of the houses that are where the dirt builds up, the lime and grime builds up.
Right,
That's
right,
where we go above and beyond.
right, right,
Especially around the holidays, the homeowners seem to love the add-ons of the oven cleaning, the refrigerator and cabinet cleaning.
right, right, okay. And then so the add-ons are like these deep cleanings, and the homeowners, they pretty much like the holidays, 'cause I would be that homeowner that likes the holidays. Come in and, yes, clean everything, deep cleaning, like, I want everything to sparkle. So having those types of clients, what kind of, what kind of people do you send in to make sure you keep those types of clients?
Well, believe it or not, a lot of our workers are they're predominantly Hispanic.
Mhm.
Culturally, in the world we live in, they're the ones who are willing to do the work.
Right.
They want so badly to get ahead in life and provide for their families. They're
Right,
willing to do everything and anything.
right.
We have from the beginning have always said I'll hire anybody who wants to work.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
people who consistently walk through the door to apply are from the Hispanic community,
Right.
and they work very hard. And we've had great success with them.
Right.
Occasionally, we'll have a customer who say, "But I want to be able to talk to them," and we tell the customer the managers are bilingual, so if anything needs to be translated, let us know. But
Right.
the team is trained; they know how to clean your house.
Right.
They follow the program that we have, the system that we have. And they're trained in how to move through the house room by room and how to move through each room.
Mhm.
The goal right there goes back to being efficient and effective. Make sure that we don't miss anything, make sure that we do everything we're promised,
Right.
but don't take any more time than is necessary to do it.
Right. And so you said that, like, they go through a training. Is this like a hands-on training, like they go with someone maybe the first couple of times that they go? Or is this kinda like, "Hey, you know how to do this job, so go do this job. Here's the plan."
They will start by watching 4 hours of videos that
Okay.
go through everything in detail.
Mhm.
Then they will spend the first 2 weeks working with a training team side by side.
Absolutely.
And within the first couple of days, it transitions from assisting and helping to doing the work with the trainers who are on the team working alongside of them, but also watching and giving them corrections and guidance.
That sounds great. That
And
sounds great.
after 2 weeks, they are paired up with somebody and they are a team.
Absolutely, absolutely. And generally, your workers, how many homes do they do, like, per day?
Typically 3 to 4.
Good.
If they're on the smaller side, they'll do 4. If if they're a medium-sized house paired with a smaller couple of smaller ones, might be 3. If
Okay.
they're doing one of our largest homes that we clean, because we have some that are 11, 12,000 square feet that we clean.
Right.
Not many. Those homes will take a half a day to clean.
Absolutely.
In that case,
Absolutely.
we might do 2 houses, a medium house and that large house, or maybe 2 small ones and that large house.
Right, right, right. How effective, as a total company, how effective do you think you have been in the last year within the communities that you work in?
In what way when you say effective?
Effective meaning like you have clients rotating, coming back, no big issues. I know you can't keep everybody happy because sometimes people are particular. I'm a particular person. So I know how that is. And I feel sometimes like people are tired of me, but at the same time, I just want what I want.
You're right. You can't please everyone. And
Right.
we have those occasional customers that we just can't please.
Right.
But here, we hit 1,000 Google reviews in July of 2025. And
Awesome.
since then, we're up almost 200 Google reviews. That's
Yes.
one measure of effectiveness.
Yes.
We've added 50 more clients in
Awesome.
the last 8 to 12 months.
And that's
So
good. That's good
as of
numbers.
this morning, we were at 952 customers.
Yes, yes, I love that. Okay, that is, and so when you did, like I asked for the questions, like, hey, what is it that you want to talk about? You did not put a date on this, and so I said, he didn't put a date, like how long it took him to get to this space that he's in now. But I was like, maybe I'll just ask him. So when did this start?
I bought the business in September of 2020. They had 609 customers at the time.
Right.
In that time, we have completely changed the culture from one that was negative to positive. Our retention of customers, cleaners, has skyrocketed. We've gone from around 200 Google reviews to almost 1,200 Google reviews.
Right.
Won Franchisee of the Year twice. I now have a management team of 5. We have 55 cleaners. In other words, I've got 60 people working for me in the
That's
business.
that is a lot of people. I don't think people really understand, but I've been the CEO of a company. I've been a manager at companies before, and I'm sorry, but having 15 employees is hard, you know? So, but having 60 employees, that's a lot because you have everybody has something, and then everybody doesn't learn the same, and everybody doesn't work the same, and so and then you said you only have 5 managers. Wow.
Well,
So
it is a bit like herding cats when you
mhm,
manage people,
absolutely.
but that's where we put the bonuses in that were intentionally structured so that they get bonus when they deliver what we promised.
Absolutely.
That way we create alignment. It's imperfect, but alignment from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Mhm.
If a customer says the team did a great job, money on their next paycheck. If that
Absolutely.
same customer goes and leaves a Google review, more money on their paycheck.
Yes.
So now they have a reason to want to give the customer what we promised them because we are going to give them bonuses.
Right. Right.
And they're going to get them quickly. They know exactly what dollar amount they get for each great job that the customer tells us they did and for each Google review.
Right. Absolutely.
For
And I'm
people
gonna
who
oh,
are
go
earning
ahead.
five or
Oh,
600 a week, it's a big deal.
that's a big, big deal. Even to earn, sometimes I talk to people who work at cleaner jobs and they say, hey, it doesn't really pay a lot of money. And I'm a little frustrated with it. And I always ask them, like, well, what kind of bonuses do you get? Because, are you allowed to take tips? Because the tips could add up. And then they're like, I'm only making like $200 a week. And I'm like, where are you working? Because I know people who have companies who like they not making $200 a week. They making like $500 or $600 a week. And then on top of that, they're getting bonuses, incentives, and tips or whatever the case may be, to support them through living. And they're like, where are those companies at? You gotta like there's these companies are out here. What First, I want you to say the name of your company because I wanna plug that in the beginning and then plug that in the end again so that they know This is you.
Okay, all right. So let me give you two names, and for two reasons. There's the
Yep.
Cleaning Authority in Fishers, Indiana. That's the
Right.
cleaning business. But a couple of years ago, I've started Silver Sun Consulting, and I use that because I'm on a mission to help other business owners do exactly what I've done and to
Right.
give them the same knowledge and the same tools. So if you want to see the cleaning authority, you look for the cleaning authority in Fishers, Indiana.
Right.
If you want to see me helping other business owners and guiding them and giving them the same tools to do the same thing, that's silversunconsulting.com.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I wanted you to mention the consulting because I did see the consulting and I was like, okay, so wait, he has this cleaner company and then wait, he's consulting too. And so that I love when people like take their business, what they've done, and they turn it into something that they can share to help other people. And they're starting consulting to help people build to that level of business. What is a mindset shift that had to happen for you to personally level up this way?
Oh my gosh. It's like you read my leadership keynote speech where I talked about mindset shifts.
Yes, what was the mindset shift?
The, I give four in there, but they
Okay.
lead up to the big one. The big one that a leader wants to do is multiply. And you
Mm,
multiply your impact through other people around you. You
right.
can't possibly do everything yourself. But what you can do is you can create the environment and you can give the tools that it takes to succeed. So multiply.
Right.
To get to multiplying, you have to let go of some stuff, let other people do it. You have to empower them to do it. Then
Right.
you have to make sure everyone is moving in the same direction. That's now we need alignment. And then develop the people so they have the skills and the knowledge. And when you do those four things, now you are multiplying your impact in what you accomplish in the world around you.
Absolutely. Now, I am big on the multiplying. That is the space that I'm in right now is multiplying, teaching people to do what I do so that they can do it. I'm all about creating independence anyway, but I think it's important um, with I'm going to say the empire that I'm trying to build to teach people how to do that because I just want to retire and I want to do talk shows all the time. And help with, consulting with mindset shifting and setting people up to build businesses, change their life, whatever it is that they need to do for total life is what I'm trying to support them in. Do you ever have to outgrow old thinking or old relationships to scale?
Oh, every day we have to let go of things that are holding us back.
Right.
It's surprising. It's a lot of it comes from experiences in the past, whether it was when we were growing up or something that we experienced on a prior job,
Mhm.
and we carry that baggage with us.
Mm,
We get to a new place, a new environment. If we don't let go of some of that baggage, it just drags us down. It keeps us from reaching our full potential.
absolutely. Absolutely. How do you make tough leadership decisions without emotional burnout?
I'll be honest, that's a challenge
Mhm.
because I care a lot about the people and the results, and
Right,
it's painful. It is just really at times it hurts. That somebody just didn't succeed, and you can look at them and see such potential there.
right, right,
Or in the case of a customer, and you want to please everybody, and you want to do a great job for everybody, but the reality is it's not possible. There's always going to be somebody who's not a good fit,
mhm,
something happens and it's affected the relationship. We broke something and now they're upset and they're terminating service, and it's
Right.
painful. So we just I find myself having to step back and remember that we're doing our best. We're not perfect. We make
Absolutely.
mistakes. Uh, Forgive myself and keep moving forward and keep trying to be better tomorrow than I was today.
Yes, yes, and I find that I'm like you, I do find it a little difficult sometimes, um, being, like, in a management or like a higher position, especially, working with clients who are building. I think my big issue right now is nonprofit. Um, so helping people build their nonprofit building businesses is really hard. It's really disheartening at times because I know that they think it's okay to have a board full of family members, but that doesn't work for business, and you have to make the tough decisions. And at some days I do. I'm crying, I'm upset because I see the potential in their business. I know this business can work. I know it can be effective. But then it's like, oh, they don't want to listen. I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I have to just step back because, like life is about choices and they get the choice. Um, What's the biggest difference between, um, working your cleaner business and being a consultant? What's the biggest difference between that?
Well, anytime it's your business, you get to have the final say on what happens.
Mhm.
Anytime you are outside of the business as a consultant or a coach, you can give them advice, you can hand them tools, you can show them the path, but they have to walk that path. They have to take those tools and do something with it. They have to take
Absolutely.
that knowledge and put it to use.
Mhm. Mhm. And I think that is the big difference. Like me having, Zipmouth Motivation, the talk show, and the mindset coaching, is completely different. It's completely different. I have a tea company as well, and so me working that's my company, like I can make the decisions for that. But when I start doing coaching, it's like, "Oh, they get a choice. I forgot. Let me let that go." I can't, like I can't boss them into this, but this is what, will work for them. You mentioned growing with diverse teams. What role did your team did team culture play in your scaling, like in your the cleaning authority and then coming into consulting? What did the diverse team, how did that role play within those roles for you?
When it comes to diverse backgrounds,
Mhm.
always try to create the most open and welcoming environment possible.
Right.
We don't care what you look like, we don't care what your background is. We're more interested in what do you want to do and what are you able to do.
Right.
And don't get hung up on education and some of those paper credentials because they aren't always what they appear.
Abs I tell people that all the time. I'm like, "Hey, listen, I had a master's degree in education and I was homeless, like 7, 8 years ago." So,
Oh
like, and I
no,
had my degree then. So it's kinda like, don't get caught up in that because a lot of people, like some stuff is just common sense. Just think your way through it and it will be fine. It will definitely be fine.
you can
Um,
do so much more with the right attitude. If they don't have the right attitude and the desire, it's difficult.
And that's the where the strength comes from. It comes from that right attitude. And the desire, I think, is the biggest piece in there that you said, because if you don't wanna do something, you're not gonna do it to the best of your ability. If you wake up and you saying like, "I just don't wanna do this," so you're gonna go kinda like put on the wrinkly clothes, you're just gonna throw yourself in the car. When you get to the job, "Hey, everybody." But when you really wanna do it and you find, like, "This is I like this. This feels good to me." Like, I'm okay. I can put on my headphones and I can just clean and get everything together, or I could just work today, and I'm happy doing it, and when I get off, yeah, I'm tired, but guess what? I feel like I did something, I accomplished the goal. When you feel that way, you'll be good. But if not, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's see. You were on TED Talk.
Yes, I
I
was.
lo I love TED Talk. I listen to TED Talks in the morning time. I just let one play from YouTube, but I love TED Talk. So, what did you talk about on TED Talk?
My talk was about thriving workplaces
Mm,
where you create caring, positive workplaces.
right,
And then I gave some examples of how you create caring and positive workplaces,
right,
which just bring out the best in the people and bring out their potential.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. What message do you believe the business world needs to hear right now?
You know, here's what they need to hear. I'm not anti technology or anti AI. In their places, they are wonderful tools. But we're so busy embracing AI and technology that we're forgetting about the human side. Businesses exist to do something for people. And when we start to forget about our people who are customers, our people who are employees, then what do we have? We've lost something.
Absolutely.
Customers and employees are not in the happiest place these days with many companies. And it's sad because there's really so much potential there in what the company can do if they just made a shift in how they viewed people.
Mm, mm. Now that's big. Um, I agree with you. I think that there has been a shift between human interaction and technology interaction. Um, and I think that we have forgotten that we are dealing with humans at these jobs because all we do is talk about AI, ChatGPT, just different. And I'm not saying that those things are bad because there are some capacities where I use those things. But I think that, it needs to be a little bit monitored. I think we have to go back to the basics sometime and really relate to who we're working with, what we're doing, and just put that human touch back in there. So I agree with that. I do agree. Um, what responsibility do successful entrepreneurs have, um, that do successful entrepreneurs need from a consultant? Like, what would you be able to support them with in business?
I can give them the tools to grow their business.
Mhm.
The tools fall into really into three buckets.
Okay.
You need to be able to acquire your customers or your clients. Then you have to deliver your services or your product. And
Right.
around that, you have to wrap a blanket of good customer and client service.
Mhm.
So I focus on each of those three areas:
Okay.
how to grow the business and get the customers in the door, then how to service them and service them well in a
Right.
way that's profitable, because we're in business to make a profit,
Absolutely.
but to wrap really good quality customer service around that.
Absolutely.
If you do those three things and do them well, you will beat out the competition time and time again.
I believe that. I do believe that. I believe that, I think that, and I don't know, you could tell me how you feel about this. I think that during the time of COVID, everybody, they were kinda like not at working, so they were at home creating. and they opened businesses and they knew nothing about business. They just decided, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get an LLC and I'm gonna open a business. But they didn't know what opening the business entailed. And then ChatGPT came along and they started hearing about business plans and they said, I'm going to have ChatGPT write me a business plan for my business. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is the beginning was your creative idea to start a business. There was, and what people don't like to do, they don't like to research and they don't like to research within their area. They don't like to research within other people who are doing their same business. And so they didn't set their businesses up right. So now we have a ton of people that need business coaching because this is a great need. Whether you know it or not, they need business coaching, business consulting. They need this. I work with business owners the vast majority of my day. And it's very stressful because they've been in business for maybe 5, 10 years since the beginning of COVID. And they're struggling and they don't have to be.
They
So,
don't is right.
right. And what are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts?
There's no shame in asking for help. In
Hmm.
fact, you're smart, you're wise to ask for help and grab as much information and knowledge from as many sources as you can.
Right.
And we keep asking for help, even though we've had success, because we want to be better than yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You, you can't know everything, there's so much to know. You have to ask for help.
I think
Help
that's
will
it.
get you there faster.
Right. Right. I think that's a big issue. Ask for help. Because I don't know everything. Sometimes, like, I'm helping someone with their business, and I have to research. I'm like, "I gotta research that." I'm not sure, like, how that process goes, like, I've seen that before, but I'm not 100% sure. As a business consultant, though, how hard is it for you to get into these companies and really, support them in the scaling? Like, how receptive are they in the beginning?
Oh, that the receptive? That depends upon the person we're talking to.
Right. I
Some want help with everything, and other people are want help in one area, but they're resistant to help in other areas.
Right. I can agree with that. Even with mindset coaching, I have clients sometimes that their first session, well their consult goes really good. We feel like we're a match. But that first session is like sometimes they walk out, they slam the door, they tell me stuff like I'm never coming back again. And I'm like, "Okay," like, "It wasn't me though, but okay. Well, you said this to me. Well, you were saying this," And, they always come back though. They always come back. I'm tough. I am tough. They they
Believe it.
always come back, but I am pretty tough. I'm just like, "Hey, you gotta do that." How much of success, is strategy versus discipline?
Strategy is your goal. In my mind, strategy is your goal. It's a higher level plan.
Right.
Your discipline. It's doing the little things that need to be done every day that get you there.
Mm,
It goes
mm,
back to the saying about success being
mm.
80% showing up
Right.
and 20% being in the right place at the right time. Well, if you show up every day and you do what needs to be done, you're putting yourself in a position to be in the right place at the right time.
Right. Right, right, right. And as I was reading through, I was looking through some the things that you sent me. I was looking at it and I was like, I'm gonna ask this question because I really want I want people to hear it from a different level because I do talk about this a lot. What's the cost of staying comfortable in business?
The cost of staying comfortable, stagnation
Mm,
at best, but because the rest of the world keeps moving forward, in reality, you're falling behind.
mm,
And by the time a lot of people have that wake up call and realize, oh no, I've just coasted along here for the last few years, they've got some serious work to do to get caught up and be competitive again.
right, right, right. And I think that's the issue. That's it. I don't think people realize like once you fall behind on your business, you fall behind because now not only do you have to catch up, you have to really catch up. Now you got to catch up with the new times. You talked about uplifting and mentoring. What does that look like practically? What does that look like for you practically?
It's showing people what's possible and
Mm,
then guiding them to that place.
right.
Once people can really see up here in their mind what's possible and can see a path to get there, then they become so much more energized and motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably one of the biggest changes that have to work on early on when starting to work with somebody.
Right.
Because the rest becomes just delivering what they have to do. Well, here's the steps, and here's how you complete each step.
Right. Right. And during this process, right? If I came to you and I said, "Hey, Todd, I wanna sign up for services and I need your help because I want to start scaling my business." Do you give out like a timeline or is this a kind of like work at your own pace but follow the steps?
No, I give them a timeline. I
Okay.
give them a map of where we're going.
Mhm.
I explain why the map is designed the way it is, how starting at the front end of the business with customer acquisition is important to get that
Right.
moving. Then we move into the operations side and we make sure that it's wrapped in a customer service model.
Absolutely.
So there's a
Absolutely.
very specific path that we go through.
Okay.
In the cases where somebody comes and they say, I part of my business is unfair, then I say, okay, let's put the fire out first and then get back to the map.
Mm. Right. Right. So you got to put the fire out first and then get back to the process of the building now. But we can't build until we put the fire out and clean up the debris. I got you. I got you. I got you. What advice would you give someone starting with nothing but a vision?
I tell them to take the vision, get clear on who you're servicing and exactly what that product or that service looks like.
Okay.
Then it's so much easier to start building.
Right. 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 And I'm going to ask you one more question before we have to get out because our time is wearing down. And I want to ask you this question because I want people to understand um, investing in yourself, right? So a service such as this, consulting, is a great service. And a lot of times, I try to help people understand that when you're dealing with a consultant or you're dealing with a coach, this service costs. How important is it for you to invest in a consulting service such as yours?
If you want to accelerate your growth, if you want to leap ahead, there's no better way to do it than to get help from somebody on the outside who has been there and walked the path before you, they can literally pull you along in a way that is hard to describe unless you've experienced it and hired somebody in the past, and get you to your destination in a fraction of the time. It,
Absolutely.
it feels like a big investment up front, but in hindsight, you'll be so glad you did it because you'll be so much further ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anything else, Todd, that we didn't get to talk about in our time that you want to mention now?
Well, for anybody who is very curious about my personal path and how I got there, I invite you to read my book, Life's Ironies, my journey on the road less traveled. And I'll leave you with one nugget that's in there. I fell off the face of the South Bluff at Devil's Lake State Park when I was younger and
Mm,
landed in a tree rather than in the boulder field at the base of the bluff. So I tell about that experience and a number of other motorcycle related experiences that happened to me, which could have resulted in our not having this conversation today.
right. I didn't
But
know you was a motorcycle rider, but go ahead.
but if you're really curious about my background and all the crazy things that happened, I invite you to check it out.
Okay. And definitely, Todd, I am going to make sure that when I post the links, I want to post where they can find your book and the name of your book. So on Zipmouth Motivation, I always try to leave the people with something positive, something to get them to the next day. Um, what is one thing? It could be a quote, it could just be a nugget, something to support them next day, next year, something that they would think about, something of your favorites or something you just want to share.
Well, probably this: invest your time, which is an asset that you're constantly losing a little bit of it, moment by moment. Invest your time in what is most important to you.
Mm, invest your time to what is most important. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can
Yeah.
never get time back.
Right.
It's always possible to earn more money, but we can never get time back.
Right. And I didn't have time to tell you, but I was gonna tell you when you said that, time is money. I've been saying that all week to people, all week long to my clients. I've been saying time is money.
Yes,
Time
it
is
is.
money. So you gotta let's go. Let's go. But Todd, I just want to thank you for coming on the Zip Mouth Motivation Show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge, your wisdom. And where can they find you if they want to reach out to you right after the show? Where can they find you?
www.silversun, that's SILVERSUN, consulting.com is a good place to reach me. All of my contact information, including my personal phone number, is there.
Okay, great. So y'all heard Todd. Todd came on the show and he wowed us with his amazing knowledge and understanding of business. He owns a cleaning business in Indiana, right? Indianapolis, right?
I do.
In Indianapolis, but he also does consulting. So, if you are a business owner and you are trying to scale your business, please get in contact with him so that he can put you on this plan. He can talk to you about next step. And if you have a fire going, he's gonna put the fire out first, help you put the fire out, get the debris away, and then help you build your business. So again, Todd, I thank you for your time, for your energy, just for being here. And I love you all. Thank you all for listening in. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you follow Todd. Well, he didn't say social media platform, so make sure you go to his website, check him out, see what he's consulting. If you are in Indianapolis, check out the cleaning business. So you got two ways to contact. But I appreciate you all. I love you all. Good day, good night, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thank you, Todd. I'll talk to you
Thank you,
soon.
Domasha.